You can create multiple copies of objects with the Array tool. These copies can be arrayed in a series of rectangular rows, columns, and levels, or they can be arrayed about a center point, or they can be arrayed along a path. All three types of arrays, rectangular, polar, and path, can be associated as array objects which retain their editability as arrays, or they can be used to create non-associated individual objects. In this lesson, you will create all three types of arrays. Go ahead and open the Arrays project file. Click the Array flyout on the Modify panel and select Rectangular Array. Select these two red lines that represent a baluster in this railing and press Enter. An initial array is created for you. It has 4 columns, 3 rows, and 1 3D level. In this particular case, we only need a number of columns. So let's set the rows value to 1 and press Tab. I'll zoom in here to get a better look at what I'm working on. And then let's change the distance between the columns to 5.5 inches. Type 5.5 and press Tab. Now I don't know how many columns I need, and I don't know the total spacing between the columns. I'd like to determine the number of columns interactively. I can use this grip to do that. Click the grip and move the mouse to the right. You'll create a number of columns. I'll click right here, and it looks like we have 16 columns. You have an option to create an associative array if this is on. If you click it, it turns it off. We want to make sure that this is an associative array so that we can come back and edit it if we need to. Click Close Array. It looks good, except for the fact that we have an unequal space over here and over here. Let's even that out. I'll use the Move tool and move this array object. I'll press Enter. I'll grab it from here and move it to here. Next, I need to essentially even this distance out by dividing it in 2. I'll move the object again, press Enter, and click this point as the base point. Then hold down Shift and right-click and choose Mid between 2 points. Click that same point, and then this point. The array is evened out, but this gap appears to be a little bit too big. That's no problem. I can select the array object, go back, and add another column. I'll type 17, Tab, and then Close Array. Again, I need to equalize the distance, so I'll type M, Enter, select the object, press Enter, click here, and then move it over to the end. Again, press Enter for Move, select the object, press Enter, click here, Shift right-click and choose Mid between 2 points, click here and here. That looks much better. If you explode an associative array, it turns into the original objects. I'll go ahead and explode this associative array just to demonstrate that. I'll press Enter, and now we have individual lines. I can no longer edit it as an array. I'll press Escape. Let's zoom out and pan down and take a look at this object here. Open the Array flyout and select Polar Array, and then select the red lines with the crossing window. Press Enter, and you're prompted to specify center point of array. Snap to the center of the circle. Let's change the number of items to 4. Press Tab. That looks a little bit too crowded, perhaps. Let's try 3. Tab. You can easily make changes while the array is being created. Notice that Rotate Items is on by default. If this is off, the array merely copies the objects around a circle. In this case, we obviously need Rotate Items, so I'll turn that back on and click Close Array. Zoom out and pan down. In this case, we will create a path array to create a number of copies of this tree. Open the array flyout and select Path Array. Select the tree and press Enter. You're prompted to select Path Curve, so select the path, and you're immediately brought into this path control. It automatically divides the path into an equal spacing. You can override that if you wish by typing in a value. I'll type 4 feet and press Enter. I have to click on another one of these text boxes to make it update. Over here, you can have the objects be aligned to the path or not. If I turn this off, you can see that the trees maintain the same orientation as they are copied along the path. With this on, the trees are rotated as they move along the path. Click Close Array, and then because it's an associated array, if I change the path, then the objects that are arrayed along it will automatically update. Click a grip and move it to a new location. Let's turn off Ortho. And you can see that the trees are always going to follow this path. This gives you a lot of flexibility in laying things out. I'll press Escape and then click on one of the trees. You get an Options panel when you edit a path array. Let's say we want to replace one of the items with something else. I'll say Replace Item, and then it says Select Replacement Objects on the command line. I'll zoom in here and select this circle as my replacement object and press Enter. I'll press Enter again to use the centroid of this circle as the base point for replacement. And then I'll zoom back out by rotating the mouse wheel. And then it says select an item in the array to replace. I'll click this particular tree right here, and it's replaced with the selected object. Again, it retains its associativity. I'll press Enter and Enter again to complete that command, and then I'll click Close Array. So in summary, you have learned how to create rectangular, polar, and path arrays, and have edited their associative array parameters.